I know just the place.
All right, we're back again. Another one here. This is a hot topic of a long time, I'd say. You know, I don't even know. We've been dealing with this since we've been starting Natural Bodybuilding. It got really hot when I was going to the Mr. America, the topic of TRT and Natural Bodybuilding. A lot of the athletes were talking about it. We were talking about it to the promoter. He ultimately decided that it wasn't going to be allowed. Kudos to Mark Torello for doing that at the Mr. America. I personally agree with him on that. I don't believe it. Both of us agree with that. We don't believe TRT has any place in natural bodybuilding, and we're going to go over a lot of reasons why. Let's just go over real quick, what is TRT? So
yeah, it's basically you go to your doctor, you know, and I guess especially these days, it's a lot easier than you might think. You go to your doctor, you don't have to, like, you know, back in the day, you go to a drug dealer to get steroids or testosterone, tren, whatever. You go to a doctor and just be like, yeah, I think I have low testosterone. They'll test you if it's with, you know, it depends on the doctor's opinion, if he's lenient or not or whatever. If he thinks your testosterone is, you know, too low to, you know, lead a healthy life, you can get injections, gels, whatever other implanted pellets. There's different methods of delivery.
Now, testosterone, obviously, for most guys, right off the bat, is going to be thought of as a sexual thing, and it is. It's a libido enhancer, so it's going to help stimulate sexual mood. Why? It is our sex hormone, you know, testosterone and estrogen for women. On that note, testosterone also has another major effect, like he just talked about, for bodybuilding, that it enhances muscle building.
Muscle mass and mood. That's another huge reason why people get TRT, if they're, you know, depression from having low T.
Yeah, exactly, because low hormones can throw you off. Just like if a woman has, you know, super low body fat levels and then her estrogen's out of whack, she's not going to have ovulation periods throughout the month because her, you know, it's a hormone. It regulates a whole bunch of stuff. Just like men, when you have low T, your sex drive's just not going to be there. Your ability to even get an erection can go away. It's all just due to testosterone, you know? Like, it just is what it is. So on that note, testosterone also has another compound, like we said, that's protein synthesis. So and it just enhances what you can do naturally. So whatever you are doing currently, as soon as you start to take TRT, albeit from a doctor or your black market drug dealer that's giving you testosterone replacement therapy, you're just going to enhance yourself from where you are now. It's just as simple as that. Is it going to be as effective as growth hormone? No, probably not. And especially at the low doses that you're supposed to be getting for TRT. But on that note, if you're in a competitive sport and you're looking at taking TRT because you need to be more competitive, you know, I would say that out loud again and be like, well, what do you mean? You know, and generally speaking, what's the rule? You know, it's like 1% a year after you're like 28 or 30, it starts to decline.
Yeah.
Just about that. So, you know, the reason why we see this in natural bodybuilding usually is by older men who have naturally declined testosterone levels because of their age, and they sit there and they say, well, my testosterone is low, so now I need TRT to have it back up to where it used to be so I could have a level playing field with the guys that are younger than me, and they have a higher testosterone level. You know, I guess that would be their analogy.
Yeah. And I mean, then again, they're actually getting an advantage because they have more years of training and a level, you know, increased testosterone.
We would hope.
Yeah. I mean, unless they just started training unless they started late or something.
Yeah.
But like, A lot of times, like older guys have been training 20, 30 years, like even without TRT, they're going to look good with that muscle maturity, and you're going to
thinner skin as you get older,
Yeah.
all that stuff, especially if you've been training.
But if you're on TRT, that's just like, it's just an unfair advantage, really.
Yeah, because, all right, so we'll get into this. This is one of the main points I want to talk about. So, you sit there and say, well, I have low T. How do you know you have lower testosterone than the next guy? How do you know that?
That's an opinion.
It's an opinion.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about this. Now, I'll let Rob dive into this about how low T leading into a show, how you can manipulate that.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting super lean, it's what you need for the show, but it's not optimal for human health, to get and maintain 5% body fat. You just get that for the show, and then you go back to whatever your normal level is after. You don't just, that's not your indefinite goal, to stay show ready. That will cause low testosterone, because your body it's fighting against your body's natural hormone production. The body fat on your body is partly responsible for that, and just where your body wants to be in homeostasis and stuff. So yeah, you're going to have low testosterone. Getting super lean for a show, especially the last few weeks. And someone goes to their doctor, they think they have, or they could say, oh, I think I have low T. They're just super lean. And yeah, they do have low T, and they will basically get artificially get prescribed the TRT. And then, once they go back up to normal levels, they still have their TRT, and then it's just, they're basically just taking steroids.
Exactly. So right now, Rob and I, me being a chunky monkey right now, I couldn't, our test levels are back up to normal, but, when we're down for a show, for a doctor, all he has to do is show on a test that my test level is low, and he can prescribe TRT legally. He doesn't need to go any further than that. So if I come into a doctor's office and I'm like, 1 week out from a show, and I find the right doctor and I say, hey, I want my testosterone checked right now. I have low T, so I want TRT. He's going to sit there and say, okay, he's going to look at me sideways, as I, or both of us, we'd walk in and this guy would be like, Jesus Christ, what are you guys talking about? You have low T. You guys are pretty muscular. Long story short, we would say, no, just give us a test. We want to do it right now. We know we're show ready. We know we're, week 2, 3, 4 weeks out. We know our body fats are pretty low. And with that, like he said, testosterone levels are lower. So the doctor says, okay, screw it. I'll give you a test. Especially if it's a shady doctor, somebody, whatever.
Well, a lot of times you won't just go to just regular old doctor, general practitioner, whatever. There's actual TRT clinics. People will go to these TRT clinics where these doctors are specifically knowledgeable in TRT, and they are trained to prescribe TRT, and they're paid to prescribe TRT, so they want to prescribe TRT. Yes, there's companies on Instagram that are TRT. I see ads and stuff sometimes.
Yep.
And there's a lot of them out there. And I remember going to the Arnold Classic, and there was a booth for this. It was like a TRT clinic, and they had doctors, and they're handing out flyers about, get your TRT. Anybody, just walk up and just get your TRT.
Yeah, and now I want to reiterate here, TRT for a man outside of competitive bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding, completely healthy thing to do. If you're over 40 and you want to go back to the fountain of youth for a little bit, go to your doctor and look for TRT. If you are a competitive natural bodybuilder, you have to take what you have currently and use it to your extent.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
You can boost your testosterone naturally. There's foods, there's supplements.
Sleep.
Dialing in, your sleep and everything. And if you're older and you're retired, you don't have any stress, that's
exactly.
Your testosterone,
So
helps.
Going right back to my point is we go into the doctor and we get testosterone because we have low T and we proved it on a test. So is that fair? Let's put it this way. Is that going to be fair for that same guy that's 45 years old that had to get T just to look semi-decent next to the two of us? For now, we go and get TRT, and we're going to go start using it for the next however long we want. Oh, we got a prescription, so we go to organizations that will allow us to do it. The next thing you know, we're 20, 30 pounds heavier in a year and a half or two. And people are just like, what the hell happened? TRT happened. And we got it fair and square. So, when these guys sit there and they say, my testosterone is lower than yours, so I need testosterone replacement therapy, my point is,
don't compete in natural bodybuilding.
Yeah, and you don't. At the end of the day, you just don't know that your testosterone is lower than the next guy's. It genetically could be a guy half your age with lower tests than you. You just don't know. And you know what? He could be training 50 times harder than you to get to the point where he made you think that you needed TRT to level the playing field when he had lower testosterone than you, or as low testosterone the whole time. Is it possible? Yes. Is it common? Probably not. But it's a reality that you just got to accept. If you're over the hill or your testosterone's lower, that's what you were gifted from your parents, God, whoever you believe in, and you got to run with it. So, on that note, you just don't know who you're going up against. You don't have blood work done on them to know anything about this person, nor should you. You should just sit there and say, I need to sleep, I need to eat, and I need to train. And that's, pretty much the bottom line with natural bodybuilding. I can't really stress it any further than that, People might get into like GNC and natural test boosters and stuff. They'd maybe have questions about that, piggyback on that real quick.
That's where you want to stick with. I mean, they're not going to, boost your testosterone to the level of TRT.
And these are pills you're swallowing.
Yeah, these testosterone boosters, they'll boost your testosterone, but they're not going to boost your testosterone enough to really see big muscle gains. You'll feel the testosterone boost. If you have natural lower T, take some natural herbal supplements that increase your testosterone. You'll feel better because you'll have higher testosterone.
Exactly.
But it's not going to, you're not going to gain 20 pounds in a year you could on actual testosterone.
Injectable testosterone. So, and we being, good friends and natural pro bodybuilders and doing this all together, it's kind of cool, obviously not a lot of people get that ability to have your friend as a bodybuilder, but we get to talk about stuff. So when we get really lean and we'll sit there and say, here's your libido shot. We've had points where we're like, yeah, dude, there's no libido anymore. Free testosterone supplements. I say free, your free test is what they refer to when they're selling these supplements. But you go to buy that stuff, and the micro level that these things increase helps mood and libido. It's not going to sit there and start making you a gargantuan person, which is why you go to GNC in the off season and take natural test boosters from GNC. That's pretty stupid, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You should be using these things when you need them, when your testosterone is low from being in a depleted state for so long. But at the end of the day, these are nothing like testosterone replacement therapy. It's not even close. I would compare GNC's test boosters to creatine.
Yeah.
And not even that good.
Creatine is studied and proven to increase
It's better.
strength. Test boosters aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll make you feel. I think they make you feel good, but you're not gonna.
No, yeah, creatine works better for muscle, if you ask me, and that's just to show you how small of an effect that this has compared to if we were talking about is creatine as good as testosterone replacement therapy? Absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't take creatine all the time.
But you get it from food. But even still, it's again. Okay, here's another thing. Again, eat, sleep, and train. When we talk about creatine, you get to eat creatine. This is why it's acceptable. You literally get to consume creatine from the food you eat, and we also need it for.
You don't look at a nutrition label and see testosterone.
CP, creatine, phosphates.
You don't eat testosterone. It's not in your diet.
You do not eat testosterone. So this is why testosterone replacement therapy is a no-no. You should not be able to artificially increase your test levels through a third-party needle source from a doctor to justify that you need to use it for a level playing field. And I'm going to end on this note. This would be just like me and Rob and I going into the NBA, and we say, what? Because we want to
5'7" at the most.
We want to be centers in the NBA, but we're not tall enough. So every time we touch the ball, I want the basket to be electronically lowered a foot, so we have the same chance as a 7-footer to dunk the ball. Does that seem even remotely logical? That takes all the athletics, skill, and genetic blessings out of the game of basketball. So why would you bring that into natural bodybuilding? If you want to take TRT, go to the IFBB, go to the NPC. Try your luck there. you know, just see how it goes. You're going to find out that there's also people with superior genetics that are taking these derivatives, and they're just massive people. So, yeah, on that note, testosterone replacement therapy is a no-go in our book. You know, we'd love to have comments below, you know, if you think otherwise, if you agree with us, if you disagree, let's hear why, you know, you think testosterone replacement therapy should be in there. We're always open for, you know, we love the comments, you know.
I feel like most people will agree.
Yeah, most people probably will agree, but we just, you know, and I've talked to a lot of bodybuilders that do agree in natural pro bodybuilding, but, you know, we always just like discussion. We want to see other sides of the opinion. We don't get to, you know, I feel like this is a pretty concrete topic, but you always got to have open-ended discussions on this. So,
Yeah.
On that note, like and subscribe, and
Stay natty.
Stay natty. We're out of here.